Hey, did you know that the Torture Pod has merch? Yeah. Over at redbubble.com/people/torturepod, we have a whole bunch of different items that you can wear, adorn on your phone or your computer or your car to show your love for torture. We have Brazen Bull t-shirts. You can have the torture logo on a mug. Guild Array on Hat Day on a hat, if that's what you choose. Welcome to Latumba shower curtains. I mean, literally, anything you want. iPhone cases with sort your fucking life out on them. I mean, how much better does it get? And remember, all Pride merch sold, profits go directly to the Trevor Project. So you're also helping people in the process of showing your love for the podcast. So go to redbubble.com/people/torturepod. And as all the kids these days say, get your fit on, bro. I don't know if that's what they say or not. I'm not cool. The subject of today's episode is a method of execution that could be ranked as the most painful in history, second possibly only to burning at the stake. Used primarily on government officials, rebel leaders, and military personnel, the bodies wouldn't only be stripped bare of all their skin, but then additionally disgraced by displaying those skins on walls, pillars, or worst of all, stuffed and sent across the empires as a warning to all others. Going as far back as ancient Middle East to India, China, the Ottoman Empire, and eventually the Americas, where we'll see it less a punishment for rebels and corrupt officials and more a religious sacrifice. Albeit an incredibly disgusting one. Today we give you Flaying. I'm Kevin Young.
And I don't condone goat fucking, but apparently Kevin does.
And this is Torch. Oh, for those of you who are listening and not watching, out of context is our...
There's no context needed. There's no context needed.
Dan's background is a snippet from a message that I sent that we were sending back and forth. Lots of context needed, but It's fine. I'm good with it. I don't care. Anyway, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
It's been a minute?
Yeah. It's been a short while. It's been a while.
No Aaron Lewis. MAGA motherfucker. Sorry there was no episode last time.
Scrub that from the episode right there. I didn't see that at all.
Yeah. He's the type that'll go back and sue us for copyright infringement.
Dickhead.
Yeah, sorry, no episode last time. Full disclosure, my mother died, which, sucks. Puts a damper on things. Doesn't really make you want to sit down and do computer work for a while. But we're back at it. Can't let them get you down for too long.
That's actually something that had me thinking as well, though. So this year we've both lost a parent now to cancer.
Yeah.
I think we need to do some cancer charity thing.
That'd be fantastic.
Merchy stuff that goes.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
I believe I had talked to you about it before when my wife and I did our podcast before, we did a thing called All the Horrors, and it was horror-based podcasts through the month of October, and all the money that was brought in through pledges and advertisements and merch sales and all that went to a charity called Scares That Care, which helped fund for cancer research and shit like that. So that's something that I would absolutely love to get going again. It's not, we didn't set it up, somebody else set it up, but I would love to get a hold of them. I have actually messaged them before to find out what's going on with it, and I've never heard anything back.
All right.
I don't want to go ahead and start doing something like that without getting permission from the people who started it, because then you run into a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo. But no, I would love to do some type of thing like that, a cancer charity thing, because cancer, people might not know, every single person, with the exception of like a cousin, my brother, my daughter, and an uncle in our family, has died from cancer. Every single one of my dad's siblings, except for one, both of his parents, both of my mom's parents, and my mother, all cancer. So it's like
same here for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, there's been the vast majority at this stage.
Yeah. My brother, my uncle, and my cousin were killed in car accidents, and the rest of them was just all cancer. So, and my dad has a lot of brothers and sisters. I mean, they all, they're old family, believe that you procreate. So that's what they did. My grandpa used to say, I was just poking fun. You're the one who made it all serious. So that's why I had so many aunts and uncles on my dad's side.
Nothing else better to do back then,
Yeah, no shit.
They're hiding out from Nazis and
they were poor
or some shit.
Yeah, they were poor, and they lived in like one bedroom house and not a whole lot to do. So grandma and grandpa found something to do.
And then they found it again. And again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids.
Yeah, there's big families back then. Like my father's side was 13 total.
Yeah.
And they lived in a house smaller than this. And one was a cot death, though. So there was 12 kids. My mother's side, I think, is 7 as well.
Yeah.
So, big families.
Yeah, big families.
Yeah. Then the average then for like our generations to be around 3, I think.
Yeah.
Remember they said it was like 2.5 or some shit. Now it's like 1.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, well, now there's a lot of people just not having families at all.
Yeah.
Like, we're just not going to have kids, which good for them. Good for them. You and Phil. I mean, you got a stepkid, but I guess it doesn't.
Yeah, that's I made damn sure that I ain't gonna have no kids.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Except I did mine. Like 12 years late. I'm just joking. I love my children. I'm just joking. But
he's not joking. He has his fingers crossed.
No, I love my kids. But for those of you who have decided to not have children, I totally get it. You have more time to yourself. You have more money for yourself. Perfectly fine. I love my kids, so it's. I got the snip at the right time, because then after we had my youngest, it wasn't long after that I met my wife, and if I had not had been snipped, we would have had another kid pretty fucking quick. So, and we did not need that.
Oh, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, no, I got snipped at just the right time. Had my 4, and then done and over with. Yeah. Now I got all the stepkids. That's a whole nother story. For all of you watching, yes, I have shaved. No, I don't like it any more than you do.
Kevin has a chin.
I do. Not much of one. You should have seen the pictures I was sending you guys, though.
Yeah.
The porn stash.
It was just neck and then mouth.
I went into my, after I shaved, I went in there because I was depressed. So I had to shave for work. We had to get fit tested for respirators at my new job. And I can grow it back out, but once a year I'm going to have to shave again.
For each new test.
Yeah, you're supposed to do a fit test each year. So I'm going to hold off.
Just shave out that bit there, so then you have all the sideness.
I used to work with the guy who did that at one of my old jobs.
Reverse goatee.
My old jobs, he was pissed because they came to him like, well, new thing, you have to be fit tested, so you have to shave. He had a big full beard, so he literally only shaved the mustache and then this around here where the respirator went, and then kept the rest of the beard. Nice. He looked like a fucking idiot. I was like, you look ridiculous. He's like, I know, that's the point. I'm trying to prove a point. It's like, but they don't care.
Yeah.
You're doing this to yourself. They don't give two shits. As long as the respirator goes on and the OSHA guy can check it off, they don't give a fuck. So you're just fucking yourself. He's like, I'll shave the rest of it later. I'm just proving a point. It's like, all right, whatever. But no, I shaved and I was depressed. I go into the bedroom. I look at my wife. I go, do I look like a Bob's Burgers character?
A little bit. That's the first thing I thought.
Like, no. She's like, no. I was like, yeah, I kind of do. I don't have much of a chin.
I can't really comment because I get rid of mine. I'm nothing but chin in a negative way because you can see right here. This is actually very thin hair right here, but it's all just, So yeah,
it was fine when I was younger and I didn't have this part hanging down. And it was up like that. I had a chin, I had a face, and now it's all like down here because I'm old.
I saw a picture of me as like 16, and I was like, God, I had a jawline.
Yeah.
How did I have a jawline? And
I know.
I was like, you got to square it off, and now I'm like, God, you're such a fat bastard.
You fat piece
but
of
wine gums
shit.
Taste way too fucking good.
Telling you, man. I'm telling you. It's hard when you sit down to watch a movie and you got a big old bag of chips and you realize that you've eaten the entire big old bag of chips because you just keep
and the movie hasn't even started.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's like when we went to see Obsession. There a couple.
Oh, did you go see it?
Yeah. Oh my God.
I've heard. I haven't seen it yet. We're
excellent
waiting.
Movie.
Yeah, I've heard.
It's absolutely fantastic. The main woman, and I can't remember her name now, she deserves a fucking award. Like
apparently
award for she is
apparently
so good.
They filmed that movie and then she couldn't get another movie role for like a year because nobody would hire her. She ended up having to take a waitressing job or something like that after she filmed that.
Absolutely, she'd be one of the first people I'd call for any fucking role. Tell you, it's unbelievable.
No, but I'm hoping to see it here not too long.
We got the popcorn and. It was funny because your man said it to us. He's like, hey, do you want this in just the one large thing or do you want me to put it in two mediums? Now, my immediate thought was, well, technically two mediums is more. Right?
Exactly. It is.
And so I said it to herself. She said, no, let's put it in the one large. And she goes, you're probably going to eat it all anyway. He's like, yeah, but it's more. It's more.
Yeah, but I can eat
and then,
you're not going to eat yours.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. She's like, no, let's get the one. Yeah, I said, okay, cool. Yeah, so we got the one in the one large thing. And we're like literally at the start of the movie, I'm like, hard you watch some birth because we're gonna end up, just like that much left.
Yeah. It's gotten to the point when I go to a movie theater.
Sorry.
I have to consciously take the popcorn, put it on the floor between my feet, and not fucking touch it until the actual movie starts. Because if I start in on it, I won't stop. I'm not one of those, we'll pick at some popcorn for a little bit and then come back to it later. If I'm eating popcorn, I'm housing the fucking popcorn. I'm a popcorn menace.
Yep.
And I also take all my candy and I open up all the bags while we're still waiting. That way you're not trying to open stuff up during the middle of the movie.
Shit.
Yeah. I get everything set up. All right, I have a process.
Did you see A Quiet Place when it was in theaters? Like I went to see it. And I was forewarned, it's kind of like, look, don't be eating your shit during the movie. If you're going to get stuff, just, And I was really nervous going in because I was like, God, there's going to be some assholes in here going, blah, 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 and crunching and making noise.
You're going to bring the monsters in here, motherfucker.
Yeah. And like everybody in the theater was really cool about it. Like the place was jammed and like, there was barely a noise out of anybody.
Yeah.
Until they hit the waterfall scene. And then next thing it's just
everybody's we can make noise now. They can't hear us.
It's like you didn't even want to breathe during parts of it, like, you know. But yeah, we're just like, ah.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, second one was me.
It
was all right.
Yeah. Did you see the third one? The prequel?
Yeah.
Type?
It was all right.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. They got another one coming out.
Yeah. I also found something here as well. I'm kind of annoyed now that this isn't happening in another few months' time. But I was up guitar shop perusing recently, as I usually do, and I picked up a couple of little bits, but I'd said it to the owner. I was like, yeah, look, when everything goes through after all my dad's stuff is settled and all that jazz, because he's very much like, always like, oh yeah, play guitar, blah, blah, blah. I wanted to get something that would be kind of commemorative of him, to like a forever thing. And then this suddenly went up. It sent you a link for it, which is basically something that I've been looking for years, which is a year of birth Gibson Les Paul that is also in the wino finish to Jerry Cantrell.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So it's basically the same as Jerry Cantrell's, who is, for me, is the absolute god.
Sure.
And then it's also my year of birth one. So it's literally everything I want, except look at that price tag.
$4,700.
So, like, I couldn't even afford to pay the deposit on the fucking thing.
No, fuck that, no.
I
mean, hey, at least it's not the 67.
At
least it's not the 67 down there. It was $9,400.
Yeah,
Jesus fucking Christ.
This guy mainly deals in like top quality vintage stuff. You know, but yeah, he's the one guy I'd be going to. Like, I'd be like, hey, need something. I already said it to him as well when I was in there. You know, he came up, he said, oh yeah, sorry about your father, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, thanks. I said, it's actually on that note. I said, when all this all said and done, I said, I'm giving you a call. And I was like, this is what I'm after. Gave him 2 examples. He said, yeah, cool. And then a week later, that lands in. And I'm like, Owen, come on.
Oh. It's like, do you have a death in the family discount or something?
Yeah.
You're like, listen, I'm only halfway to being an orphan here. Just cut me a little slack.
Yeah, man. Come on, Owen, give me a call.
Oh, fuck. All right, Dan, let's take you back to 1325 India. You are a capable and influential soldier named Baha-ud-din Gurshasp. You have accumulated a considerable wealth and have won the loyalty of many local military officers, and it just so happens that you are the first cousin of the new Sultan Muhammad bin Tughluq. Now, for some reason, be it jealousy, ambition, fear, or just testing the strength of the new government, you decide to not take an oath of allegiance to the new Sultan after your uncle died and his son took over. This will, of course, lead to war, and it is a war you will ultimately lose. Now, after your men are slaughtered... Huh? Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
It only happened 700 years ago. Now, after your men are slaughtered by your cousin, the Sultan's troops, you turn tail and flee to a Hindu king. Now, there's a story that may or may not be true about the king killing himself and his wives by jumping into a pyre or some shit, but we'll just skip over that. It's not sure. It's not 100% if it's true or not. And it doesn't really play a part in the story, so we're just going to keep going. The Sultan's troops come and capture you and bring you back in front of your cousin. With your legs shackled and your hands tied to your neck, the Sultan orders you to... I thought to say this kind of weird. Like this. Yeah. Like, what am I doing here? The Sultan orders you to stand in front of your wives and other female relatives as they hurl inside. Well,
how can you handle more than one?
It's India, and you're
that's just
quite the influential.
You're just
soldier.
asking for trouble. It's like, how do I make my life more difficult? That's it.
It was different back then, man. It was different back then. This was the 1320s, dude. It was a different time, man. Anyway, You stand in front of your wives and other female relatives as they hurl insults and spit at you. Then you are taken.
The wives are insults.
They're like, ladies, this is our chance.
Yeah, this is our time.
This is our time, ladies. Really let him have it. You got a small peck in there.
Yeah.
Baha. Your name's a laugh riot. Baha. Well, then you are taken away to serve the rest of your sentence. While still alive, you are tied to a post, and a skilled knife worker takes an extremely sharp dagger or scalpel or whatever they had for things like this. History books aren't very clear. And they begin to make long cuts into the skin, peeling it away from your body. This was the torture of flaying. Doesn't sound
nice.
Yeah. Now, there's no documentation on how long Gurshasp lived during this flaying. Most likely, shock would have set in fairly quickly and death wouldn't have been too far behind. But for those few seconds before he lost consciousness, you would have think pain would be pretty awful.
Pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty shit.
It doesn't sound great. I just think like when you're biting like a hangnail or something and you pull and it pulls that little piece of skin right next to your fingernail and you're like, ow, fuck. I mean, ow, that hurts. I mean, I'm okay, but ow. Yeah.
Imagine just like the air even touching the
exposure.
Or like
God.
Like the guy who's sitting there cutting, he's like, you son of a bitch.
I got some sand in there, and he just scrabbled it away.
No.
Now, the Sultan wasn't through with Gurshasp after this. Rumored that the flesh from his body was then cut up, cooked, and served with rice to his family, but there's no verifiable evidence that actually happened.
That's Sultan the wounds.
But it's also said that it was fed to elephants, but they refused to eat it. Again, maybe. Doubtful. I don't know very many elephants that go around eating meat. It's not really their thing.
Yeah.
The rice, maybe.
True.
Maybe put some rosemary in there or something, but I don't see them eating the meat. It's not a elephant thing to do.
No.
Anyway. We do, however, have a pretty good idea
of
what
Rancors.
Oh, I didn't know Skywalker was a Jewish name. We do, however, have a pretty good idea of what happened to the skin. Again, it's not 100%, but we have a decent idea of what happened to it. Now, all the extra tissue and fat was scraped and cleaned from the inside. All openings, mouth, eyes, ears, nose, anus, were all sewn shut, and the skin was then stuffed with straw. Then the body was stitched up to create a life-sized, albeit stiff and distorted, Gurshasp skin doll.
Nice.
Along with another rebel known as Baha-ud-din Gurshasp, the stuffed skins were sent to province after province for all to see before eventually being displayed on the gates of Delhi as a warning to others that contemplated rebellion.
It's the Mumbai Chainsaw Massacre. Kind of, man's just fucking wearing the skin.
That's fucking fantastic. Oh, fuck. You just do two skin dolls just hanging from the gates and you just bringing your kid into Delhi for the first time. He's like, I want a toy. And they're like reaching for the doll. It's like, do you have skin dolls at home? We have skin dolls at home. You got a coffee? We have coffee at home. Get him a skin doll. It's fine. Now, even though we don't see flaying very often in Indian history, it seems like bin Tughluq liked to use it for dealing with major political rebellions because Ibn Battuta, a Maghrabi Muslim traveler, explorer, and scholar, described seeing multiple stuffed skins hanging from public buildings. So disturbed by the sight, he hastened his departure from the city. He's like, I got to get the fuck out of here before I become a doll. I mean, this is horror movie shit.
Yeah, it pretty much is. Like, yeah, you could literally do a whole horror movie around that.
Well,
Pretty
I mean,
fun.
there's an idea.
Yeah.
Idea for our new podcast, the one word at a time script that we have planned out. Now, I don't want anyone getting confused. When we talk about flaying, we are talking about forcibly removing the skin from the flesh. This
We're
is
not talking about the delicious filet mignon steak. That's not what we were talking about.
This is about the crispy skin that you get after you bake the body. You peel it off. It's got, yeah. Now, this is not Ling Chi. Ling Chi was the systematic removal of large portions of meat from the body. Go and listen to that episode for more info. One of Dan's favorites. I remember him just loving it.
Goddamn slow cutting shit.
He spent the entire episode going, ugh.
Yeah. Give me the hard knife, goddammit.
We also aren't talking about red hot pinchers. This isn't tearing small pieces of flesh while you're hanging strappado style. This is full body removal. We also won't be speaking of scalping. That's a very specific process done by very specific people for very specific reasons that will get its very own episode, just like pitch capping did. Again, go listen to that episode for more. So,
it also isn't the Blood Eagle. Let's get more episodes in here, which you can also listen to.
I bring that up a little later.
Oh. Damn it, I just ruined
There's a couple of them I bring up here in a minute. So when would something... Crucifixion, stoning. Let's just talk about everything other than what we're talking about. So when would something like flaying begin? Well, that's almost impossible to know. We've talked about it a bunch of times with these methods. It's not like an invention like the rack or Das Boot. Devices are much easier to nail down a timeline because people are usually proud of what they create, while methods are usually a little harder to figure out. When was the first time someone got information by hitting someone else with a club? Who knows? So, when did flaying start? We can only go by what's documented. And believe it or not, there isn't a ton of documentation on flaying being used. Take medieval Europe, for example, usually our go-to country and time period for all things torment. It seems that it was extremely rare compared to hangings, beheadings, burnings, breaking on the wheel, or drawing and quartering. Speaking of breaking on the wheel, I have been consuming the new Joe Abercrombie book, The Devils.
Oh, okay.
And so it takes place, a little sidebar here. This is what we're known for, people. Little sidebars in the middle of our discussion. It takes place in
on the spectrum. You're on the spectrum.
It takes place in an alternate Europe, an alternate world, really, where the savior was God's daughter, not God's son, and she was sacrificed on a wheel, on a breaking wheel, rather than on a cross. So instead of a cross, everybody wears either a circle or a wheel. Yeah. I thought that was cool. Neat. Yeah, it was great. Dude, the book is fucking fantastic. Get it as soon as you can and read it. It's fucking
I need to finish reading any of the other 1,000 books that I've
it's fucking great. If you're out there and you like Joe Abercrombie, you like a ragtag bunch of miscreants coming together to perform a task, sometimes with a very loose plot behind it, you will love it. It's funny. You'll love Joe Abercrombie.
I loved everything I've read by him.
He's great. Anyway, so if we actually ranked medieval executions by frequency, flaying would be at the near or at the bottom, mostly because the majority of crimes already had established penalties: hanging for theft, beheading for treason, so on and so on. Most of what we find on flaying through this period, roughly 500 to 1500 AD, are accusations popping up during wartime. Christians claiming Muslims were doing it. Muslims claiming Christians were doing it. English monks reporting that Vikings were doing it, even though they may have been practicing the blood eagle at times. This isn't that, but like I said, Dan just brought it up.
It was the Cenobites the whole time. You opened the box.
So it is a possibility that it happened, but it was more than likely a propaganda tactic used to portray the enemy as barbarians that were willing to do the most heinous thing to those they captured. We've talked about that before. It's just something that you do. Iron Maiden and all that shit. Now, there's pretty much no mention of it in Roman history, with very rare exceptions, and we really only see it in ancient Greek mythology, i.e. Marissus challenging Apollo to a musical contest and being flayed alive when he loses. There's even sparse chronicles of flaying of governors and rebels by the Mongols under Genghis Khan's rule, but the majority of those stories were written decades after they would have taken place, and many coming from those with a grudge. Doesn't mean it didn't happen, but people do embellish. So, we don't...
Put off somebody's finger, turns into took off all their skin.
Yeah. I mean, it's... You should have saw the size of the fish I caught. It was at least this big, if it maybe this big. Biggest fish you ever saw. Turns out they didn't catch a fish at all. They just hooked it on an old shoe somebody threw in a lake. So it's just it's the way it works.
And that's how the Bible was written.
One lady lied about how she got knocked up and didn't want to tell her husband, and now we got to ruin our fucking Sundays, and they say people can't have abortions. Jesus fucking Christ.
There's a guy who actually invented antibiotics, cured some blind guy who actually just has some gunk in his eye.
Mm-hmm.
It's an infection. Ever gave him credit for his medical wonders? It was magic.
Yeah, and then we had the Dark Ages where no scientific advancement came. We could have flying cars by now, people, if it wasn't for the Christians. Yeah. I might be going a little far, but okay.
Catholics.
So while we don't know for sure where and when it all began, we do have a good spot in history where we can start off from. A society we know used it because not only did they write it down, but the surrounding societies that were terrified of them also wrote it down. So we go back to the 9th century Neo-Assyrian Empire led by Ashurnasirpal II. The Neo-Assyrian Empire dominated the Near East from the early 9th century BC until its collapse in 609 BC. At its height, it stretched from modern Iran to Egypt. Just in case you were wondering, Assyrian is the broad term for the entire ancient civilization and people of northern Mesopotamia, whereas Neo-Assyrian refers specifically to the final, largest, and most powerful imperial phase of that civilization. Just so you know.
I was just going to say, glad you cleared that up because that's been
I'm going to clear
my
up
entire life.
I'm going to clear up a couple other things today.
You're going to learn a bunch. Neo-Assyrian.
Yeah.
I thought one of them was like, some
the last job interview I went
movement.
to, they asked me. I didn't know. Yeah.
Well, now you know people.
You'll get a couple little tidbits of information through this one. I think you'll like it. You appreciate it. I told my wife about him. She's like, I did not know that. I do.
Oh.
Now, unlike many earlier kingdoms that relied mainly on tribute or alliances, the Assyrians built what many historians considered the first true military empire. Their armies were professional, disciplined, and constantly campaigning. And under Ashurnasirpal, flaying became a very popular choice for execution. Not for your average run-of-the-mill crimes, but for rebellious political figures, military commanders, etc., etc. After he captured the rebellious city of Tela in northern Mesopotamia, he declared, quote, I flayed all the chiefs who had revolted, and I covered the pillars with their skins. I flayed many right through my land, and draped their skins over the walls.
Nice.
I'm pretty proud of what I did.
Pretty hardcore.
I think it's a pretty good job. See, that's good. I did that. That's good.
You ain't hardcore unless you live hardcore. That's.
I tell you what.
That's
metal as fuck. So people like this don't usually listen. Yeah, they don't usually listen to metal. These are the people who are listening to love ballads as they're slowly peeling your skin off your body.
If you leave me now tonight.
So why go to such extremes? Well, Ashurnasirpal II and his successors understood that conquering a city by siege could take months, cost thousands of soldiers, and drain the empire's resources. And if a city's leaders surrendered without a fight because they had heard what happened to the last rebels, then Assyria could achieve the same results at a fraction of the cost. So Ashurnasirpal, and to a lesser extent those who came after, recorded their punishments in official inscriptions that were carved into palace walls and monuments, where they could be read by foreign envoys and visiting rulers. Can you imagine going to somebody's house and you just see paintings of them, or inscriptions of them ripping the skin off of people? Like, oh yes, those are the last people who didn't do exactly what I told them to do. Would you like some tea?
Hey, look, if it works, it works.
You do what you got to do. You know?
Yeah.
They would nail skins to the city gates, wrap them around.
Just the foreskin.
Just the foreskin. Oh, no, they'd hang the entire skin by the foreskin. Yeah. It's just like, oh, wow, that is horrible. Oh, yeah, we did that. We did that before we cut it off of him. It's cool. It's the funniest thing. We just made one cut and he just kind of slipped out like an old sock.
Oh, God.
Actually, he was in less pain when he hit the ground. Oh, they would wrap them around pillars, stretch them over walls, hang them from towers, and display them at palace entrances. Palace reliefs, usually vibrant and detailed sculptures, even depicted scenes of flaying, impalement, and decapitation, advertising the consequences of resistance, so visiting kings and rebellious governors could see exactly what happened to those that resisted. And the strategy worked so well that rulers in Syria, Anatolia, Phoenicia, and Babylonia often chose to pay tribute rather than risk open rebellion. Many city-states submitted as soon as an Assyrian army approached, hoping to avoid the fate of places like Tela. Now, after Ashurnasirpal died and others came after, the flayings didn't stop necessarily, but became less frequent over the next couple hundred years. And that's probably why in 609 BC, a coalition of Babylonians, Medes, and Scythians, and others decided that it was time to sack key Assyrian cities and essentially bring the empire to its end. When you find something that works, you got to keep going with it. Otherwise, they're going to come after you. You can't give them an inch. I'm telling you what. That's it.
Yeah, you don't start strong and then back down.
Yeah, you work up to flaying. You don't come down from flaying.
Yeah.
It's just, that's just textbook. That's how they get you. That's how they get you in the end. You lost, they're all sitting back going, you lost your edge, and now it's my time to shine.
It's like that scene in Team America. Yes, lost the will to live, didn't you?
Now, used far less than the Assyrians, we can look at the Persians, who, despite not having any real evidence of flaying being used as a common judicial punishment, we do have isolated accounts of individuals who were flayed on the orders of the king, the most famous of whom is Sisamnes. Nearly everything we know about him comes from Herodotus, someone we've mentioned before when it comes to documenting ancient punishments. Anything that happened back in like ancient Greek times, Herodotus was usually the one who wrote it down. He wrote
such weird names.
Yeah, everything ends with us or ness or
yeah.
It's Of course, if they heard our names today, they'd be like, "What? Yeah. How do you know who is who if you don't put an os or an f?"
Danilius.
Danilius. Kevinus. Writing around 440 BC, roughly 80 years after the event, so you got to take some things with a grain of salt. But Sisamnes was a royal judge serving under Cambyses II, the son of Cyrus the Great, and ruler of the Achaemenid Persian Empire from 530 to 522 BC. Now, royal judges were among the highest legal officials in the empire. They heard important disputes, interpreted royal law, and acted in the king's name. Because Persian administrations depending on trusted local officials spread across an enormous I will get this sentence out. Because Persian administrations depended on trusted local officials spread across an enormous empire, judicial corruption was viewed as a direct threat to royal authority. And according to Herodotus, Sisamnes accepted a bribe in exchange for delivering an unjust verdict. Now, unfortunately, Herodotus doesn't identify the litigants, the amount of the bribe, or the nature of the case. Those details have been lost to history.
30 pieces of silver.
Something like that. Is this Jesus? Did I just sentence Jesus? Now, when Cambyses learned of the corruption, he ordered Sisamnes. I feel like I say his name different a little bit each time.
I don't know. All I heard was syphilis and Cyrus the virus, and
it's Con Air. Yeah, it's all taking place on Con Air. Nick Cage is coming in to kill some people.
Put the flayed bunny in the box.
Sisamnes arrested and condemned. Now, rather than simply executing him, the king imposed a punishment designed to become a permanent lesson. Sisamnes was to be flayed, and his skin was cut into strips, and those strips were stretched over the seat on the judge's chair. And Cambyses then appointed Sisamnes' son, Otanes, to replace him. And he's told that every judgment he would make would be delivered while sitting in the chair covered in his father's skin.
This fucking Ed Gein.
We'll bring him up
I want
later.
myself some human flesh slippers there, please. Thank you.
And he just takes the chair to the back and he's like
around.
licking the skin. Like, I miss you, Daddy. I miss you, Daddy. And it's just the skin just has like one stray hair coming off it. He's like, that was my favorite hair of his.
Oh.
He's curling in his finger.
There's just a nipple just sitting there. And he's like,
He always liked it when I pinched it a little bit. I don't know why we made them incestuous. I don't know.
hey, they can be anything we want them to be. They're lost to the annals of history. We now have artistic license to do what we want.
That's right. Yes. Their copyright has lapsed. They are now in public domain.
Yes, exactly.
Just like Mickey Mouse and Frankenstein. Now, be it true or not, this story would become so synonymous with corrupt judges that in 1498, the early Netherlandish painter Gerard David painted the Judgment of Cambyses, which consists of Sisamnes' arrest, flaying, and Otanes presiding over the court from the skin-covered chair. And it was placed in the aldermen's chambers in Bruges to remind the judges that corruption has consequences. Which it should, but again, it's another thing that's been lost to time is ethics.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
well.
yeah.
Flaying is a no-no.
So how would it work? Well, there's no historical handbook on removing someone's skin. No flaying for dummies. No chicken soup for the flayer's soul.
I was literally just about to say, it's obviously like spatchcocking a chicken, so.
Yeah. And then you just fold it
Put it
and
on
you just push down on the pelvis
you
and on the
lift up a bit of
chest bone.
skin and you shove your fingers underneath and you make a little cavity in there and then you get some butter and you
That's
put
where you
that
put the
in,
garlic, the garlic or butter.
Rub it all around in there. Sprinkle a little bit
Exactly.
of salt on top. Make sure your oven's set to 175 degrees. And then you stick your syphilis Cyrus virus guy right in there.
And that's how you get the crispy skin we've been talking about, people. Come on, it's full circle. Follow along. Let's go. Hey guys, Kevin here. So if you have a beard or somebody in your life that you love has a beard and you haven't gone to thebeardstruggle.com and used our exclusive coupon code TORTURE19 at checkout to save 19% off your entire order, what are you doing? Why not? I don't understand. they have everything you could possibly need for your beard or for the beard of the person you love. Growth kits, oils, washes, creams, butters, trimmers, straighteners, everything you could need for your beard, your hair, your face, your entire body. And it's quality, the best products you can buy. Over 10,000 Trustpilot reviews with a score of 4.7 out of 5. I mean, you know that you're going to get the best quality products you could possibly get for not just your beard, but your entire body. And with their 90-day money-back oath of honor and our exclusive coupon code TORTURE19, use at checkout, again, to save 19% off your entire order. If there's anything you don't like, which I don't see happening, but just in case, if there's something you don't like you're not 100% satisfied with within 90 days, send it back and you get your money back. It's just that easy. So what are you doing? Go to thebeardstruggle.com, use our exclusive coupon code TORTURE19 at checkout, and as Dan would say, sort your fucking beard out. So we have to go by what we believe would be the best way to preserve the skin, along with the easiest and most efficient way of removing it.
Jerky.
Which just lay it over that fence post, let the sun beat down on it. It'll be fine. Rub some salt in there every once in a while, a couple days, cut it into strips, have some good old meat as we take these cows all the way to Minnesota.
It'd be like porchetta, bone rolled.
Yeah. Excuse me, sir. Has this skin been air dried back with the prime rib? Yes, of course. Only the best.
Temp over time, baby.
So it probably went like this. First, the victim is tied up to a post of some sort. Then a skilled knife man would make a long incision down the back, along the spine, from the middle of the neck to the lower back. I am Knife Man! He's the exact opposite of Batman. He kills everyone.
Yeah. Oh, everybody would have like prison yard stab, you know, like that's all he does. Just walk like.
Who is it that does that? So the best superheroes or whatever is like, I'm VD Man.
VD Man.
when he shows up and somebody's trying to steal a TV out of a house, he's like, oh shit, no.
My superpowers, it really hurts when I piss.
And there were probably cuts that extended down the back of the arms to the wrist and down the back of the legs to the ankles. From there, the executioner would slowly and methodically, with an extremely sharp knife, to divide the thin connective tissue beneath the skin while simultaneously pulling the skin away. An alternate process of cut, pull, cut, pull.
It's like
Taking
prepping a lamb.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Or skinning a fish. Yeah.
So you put them down and you hold on and you go like that.
Rip it right off. Taking as little meat as possible. Now, after the skin was pulled from the legs, buttocks, back, arms, and genitals, they would pull up the stomach, chest, and front of the neck, most likely leaving the face for last. The ears, eyelids, lips, and nose would require slow, delicate work as to not tear them, if that's what the ruler at the time wanted. This would be necessary if they were to be turned into life-size skin dolls, like we discussed earlier. If not, then you probably wouldn't need to worry about it. So
this is the origin of the first Madame Tussauds.
Is that wax? No, it's not. No. But it looks kind of like, oh, no. Anyway, if not, then you probably wouldn't need to worry about being so careful, and the skin could just be ripped off in large strips. And when I think of that, I think of the new Mummy movie, the toenail scene.
Yeah.
Oh God. For those of you who haven't seen Lee Cronin's The Mummy,
it's so bad.
There is a scene that when I saw it, I went, oh, and everybody like that I saw online talking about it said there's one spot in the movie where the entire theater went, oh,
yeah.
I can almost guarantee that was the spot.
100%. It's either that or the other foot scene, the digging in the foot thing. Like that
Say
reminded me
what?
of the
devil-
Evil Dead pencil.
The devil egg. Yeah, the pencil and the Achilles tendon. Yeah. The deviled egg scene.
Yeah.
No,
most scenes in it, let's be honest, it was
most of the
good.
movie.
There was some very imaginative, brilliant
Most of the movie was
stuff
grody.
Yeah.
Anyway, now keep in mind that for at least the first seconds to minutes of this, the victim is still alive. There are no instances that I could find where somebody was only partially flayed so to live through it. It was pretty much an all or nothing type deal. It wasn't like, I'm just going to take this strip off your back so you have to live the rest of your life with no skin there. If they flayed you, you were losing all of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No point.
Somebody surviving all the way up to here. Come on, motherfuckers! Be your man, your man, Ling Chi dude. Yeah. It's just like, come on, give it to me.
Writing usurper in his own blood, fucking metal as shit. Yeah. Take the rest of it. Can you imagine? But this is one of those times where you wouldn't go half-assed, you go full-assed. If you go half-assed, then he only has skin on half his ass. Just go half-assed this time.
That's where it comes from.
The rest of his life, he's got to sit like this. So what would you go through physically? Obviously, after the idea of dying in possibly the most painful way possible, short of burning to death, has left you mentally broken, you would feel extreme pain. The skin is absolutely packed with nerve endings that detect touch, pressure, heat, and of course, injury. So as the skin is separated from the tissue, millions of pain receptors are activated all at once.
Bullshit. Say it doesn't hurt at all.
But I mean, just sit there and think about it, because you don't really think about the stuff that's touching you all day. But if you think about your shirt, it is touching you everywhere. And you can feel it everywhere it's touching you once you really focus on it. We both have hats on. I can feel my hat everywhere, feel my shorts, I can feel my shoes. Everything that I'm wearing, I can feel all at once. Now, all of a sudden, set it on fire pretty much. Because your entire body is feeling all at once. So,
be fine.
Yeah, I'll be okay. Yeah. Do you have any Tylenol and a Band-Aid?
Fingertip before, it was nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
I set half of my body on fire once. It was the most excruciating thing.
Stood my toe that one time.
Yeah. I have a paper cut.
Deal with that shit. Paper cut's the worst. No.
Yeah, paper cut is the worst. Talk about flaying. No, what about have you ever had a paper cut?
Yeah.
Like right here in between the webbing in between your fingers, you ever had a paper cut? Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, I had a razor blade actually got to kind of go into my finger before, right?
Yeah.
That was not as bad as a paper cut.
No, because the reason why is because paper doesn't cut a clean line. It looks like it, but if you go down the microscopic level, it's very jagged. A razor blade cuts a very clean line. So that paper cut is going to hurt a lot more.
So what you're saying is if they use razor blades while they're flaying, it wouldn't hurt as much.
It's not as bad. So that's why
that's where they went wrong. You know,
yes, but when we get to China, they use the origami to make paper knives, and they use that way. And that's why it was so much more painful over there.
Oh, cool. I was going to say, they should have got like a Gillette razor. You know, it's the best a man can get and all that jazz. And like, they just like, and I remember like, what happened? I didn't, I
think it was a little bit of a razor burn now. You got to go with the grain, not against it. Ow. Yeah. That's going to leave.
Then they chuck the aftershave on, and that's when it gets painful.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they should have gotten their products from thebeardstruggle.com. Now, as more skin.
There, can't
yeah, Torture 19. Save up to 19%. Just going to fit that right in there. It's a good place for an ad break.
I must order some myself.
I don't need one right now. But I will. I'm growing it back, goddammit. Now, as more skin is removed, the body immediately begins to lose one of its most important protective barriers. Tiny blood vessels in the skin are torn open, causing bleeding. And contrary to what you might think, you wouldn't necessarily bleed to death within minutes unless major arteries were cut. Most of the bleeding would just come from thousands of smaller vessels rather than the large one. Now, the greater immediate danger is from the damaged vessels leaking fluid into the injured tissue, causing a rapid drop in circulating blood volume. That's where the shock comes in. The heart beats faster in an attempt to maintain blood pressure. The blood vessels in the arms and legs constrict, preserve circulation to the brain and the heart. The victim would then become pale, cold, sweaty, and weak.
What would happen if you're in a vacuum, I wonder?
I don't know. I never...
Something to ask Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Hey, Neil. Yeah, next time I go to one of his things. Yeah. I've been to one of his things before. They're actually a lot of fun. But next time I'm at one of his little talks, I'll be sure to be like, Neil, what happens if you're being flayed in a vacuum?
Yeah.
Nature abhors a
Stephen
vacuum.
Cox? He'd know.
Brian Cox.
Brian Cox, even. Sorry. Yeah.
Brian Cox. Or Michio Kaku might know. Bill Nye, probably not so much. We all know he is an engineer, not a scientist.
Yeah. I loved the video of him calling another science guy a lizard. It was fucking hilarious. They're having a proper argument about the time of the Ice Age and whether or not humans are actually related to plants and stuff like that. And
yeah.
He basically calls the guy a lizard. Straight up. It's fucking brilliant.
You fucking...
It's like sassy Bill Nye. It's fucking brilliant. I loved watching sassy
Love sassy Bill Nye.
Yeah.
Now, as blood pressure falls... Yeah, when blood pressure falls, with it comes dizziness, confusion, and eventual loss of consciousness. At the same time, the body loses huge amounts of water. Skin is like a waterproof barrier, and once it's gone, fluid evaporates almost continuously from the exposed tissue. Body temperatures also go haywire. The skin retains heat. If you have a large area without any, that heat escapes quickly. Even in mild weather, the victim could become hypothermic, worsening the shock and interfering with blood clotting. Now, if by some crazy miracle you were able to survive all that, like for some reason they only removed the skin from your back or half-assed some weird shit, you would still face a major threat of infection. Skin is the body's first line of defense against bacteria, and this is long before antibiotics. So the tissue would almost certainly become infected, leading to fever, sepsis, and eventual death within a matter of days if they so choose to not take all of your skin. I mean, and it wouldn't take...
Let's be honest, you'd be fucked well before that.
Yeah. But I mean, it wouldn't take losing a ton of skin for this to set in. Just take the skin off like part of your arm and don't cover
back
it.
Then a paper cut would kill you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so, I mean...
a papyrus cut, whatever
much.
You want to call it back then.
A papyrus cut. I nicked myself with some leaves while I was wiping.
Yeah.
Well, it was good knowing you, son. You made it all the way to 10 years old. We'll have to go make another one because I need help in the farm.
Yeah. I was going to say, get back down on mine.
Well, I'm gonna need you to take your grandpa and your other brothers and sisters that died. I'm gonna need you to carry them down into the big burying pit where we have all our relatives that died, unfortunately, from wiping their ass with too sturdy a leaf, and just die with them while you're down there, like ants do. That's what ants do.
It's like old school orphanage grade toilet paper.
Now, to some, flaying might come across as strange and exotic. And that might be because the only society that used it as much as the Neo-Assyrians was China.
Chinese.
Yes.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
with one of the longest documented histories of flaying in the world, albeit sporadic, spanning more than 2,000 years, with its earliest reference to it appearing from 770 to 256 BC during the Eastern Zhou period, mostly in stories rather than some legal code. Then it kind of disappears for the next 1,500 years or so. Not completely, but mostly. But then we come to the 1360s, and the founder of the Ming Dynasty, Hung Wu. Waiting for you to make fun of the name Hung Wu.
Oh, no. I've been tempted by many names, that included, but I'm not doing it because
low-hanging fruit.
Cancelled.
Low-hanging fruit. Now, born in 1328, Chu Chongba was born into a desperately poor peasant family during the final years of the Mongol-led Yuan Dynasty. Yeah, Chewbacca. Chewbacca was born a hairy motherfucker.
Had to shave him before he could flay
in the forest of Kashuk. Now, when he was about 16, famine and disease swept through the region. And within weeks, his mother, father, and several siblings were dead. He was so poor that neighbors had to help him bury his family in shallow graves. So he began to wander as a beggar, as you do, until he entered a Buddhist monastery to become a monk, as you do. But even they eventually ran out of food, and he had to spend several years traveling northern China begging for meals. Now, through these travels, he saw firsthand what happened when local officials stole tax revenue, failed to distribute grain, and abused peasants, developing a deep distrust in bureaucrats, just like the rest of us.
Is this the setup to Rambo First Blood?
It is.
Yeah.
It actually is. They drew free blood. To Zhu, corrupt officials weren't just stealing money, they were the reason his family starved. Every tax collector who pocketed grain, every magistrate who ignored the famine, every bureaucrat who lied to the emperor represented the system that had destroyed his childhood. Then in the 1350s, there was an eruption of rebellion against the Yuan Dynasty, probably because everybody was starving. And Zhu ended up joining the Red Turban Rebellion and quickly proved himself as an exceptional military commander. Now, over the next 20 years, he, now going by the name Chu Yuanzhang, fought against the Mongol rulers and rival rebel leaders. And in 1368, him and his merry band of miscreants became so powerful that he proclaimed himself emperor and began the Ming Dynasty. Here's another little tidbit of information you probably didn't know. The name Ming for Ming Dynasty comes from the Chinese symbol Ming
the
which means brilliant or bright.
He was a comic book fan.
The character for Ming is compounded. It's a compound made of two other characters, the one for sun and the one for moon, and together they embody the idea of maximum radiancy or clarity. So when you say Ming Dynasty, it's brilliant or bright dynasty. So there's another thing that you know now. With his goal of never allowing China to descend into chaos again, order above all else, and he thought the best way to do that was to crack down hard on corruption. Speaking of Ming, do you remember Ming from WCW wrestling?
Yeah.
He used to be Haku in WWE. He just came back to WWE last night at SummerSlam.
No way.
Both of it, yeah. He's got two sons that wrestle, Tamatonga and Tongaloa, or Tamatonga and Talatonga. Both wrestle for WWE.
Wow.
He just came back to be their manager, I guess, or something.
Oh,
so yeah. Hopefully he's going to be their manager. He was one of those guys that if you ask, like, who's the one guy in the backstage you never messed with, everybody would tell you Haku or Ming, because
Yeah.
he was known to like get in bar fights and literally pop people's eyeballs out of their heads. He was just a genuine fucking
Nice.
badass. So don't mess with Ming. And now going by Hong Wu, his emperor name. That's something that Chinese emperors did once they became emperor. They changed their name. Kind of like the English royalty. They changed their name to like King George or whatever. That's not actually their real name.
It's their stage name.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what it is. So they can have their own private Instagram account that nobody will follow.
That's right.
See? That's what it is.
Anyway, he felt like dishonest officials harmed the people more than the bandits ever could. So he treated corruption as a form of treason, setting a policy that embezzling more than just 60 taels of silver could get you executed. That's roughly 2.2 kilograms or 75 ounces total, which was enough to feed a small family then for a couple of years. Now, when Hong Wu wanted to make an example of someone, he would dole out flaying. Then, to get the point across to other officials, those skins would then be cleaned, stuffed, and displayed in government offices. These Renpai Korin, or human skin straw men, were to stand silently in the corners to remind every clerk, tax collector, and magistrate that awaited those if they abused their office. Can we bring this back, please?
I was going to say for a second, like, can you imagine you didn't know one of your friends was flayed and you walk in for a meeting and you're like, oh, hey, Bob, it's good to see you.
You go for a big clap. You slap his hand. He's like, I feel a little cold, bud. Or can you imagine your first day on the job, not knowing, and you walk in and there's a human skin doll in the corner staring at you?
That'd be hilarious.
I think this would be fantastic to do. Listen, we've gotten to the point where I know we all say political violence is never okay until it's necessary. I mean, it might be time to start peeling some skin off and making skin dolls.
Yeah.
See this motherfucker? See what he did?
Have old DT standing in the corner forevermore.
That's right. Smelling like shit.
Yeah.
His IQ won't drop at all.
Yeah, that's true. We probably get smarter.
I can't remember which news anchor it was, and they said, if Donald Trump does have dementia, how would we know? You said that. It's like, yeah, exactly. There'd be no telling.
It's a great question.
It is.
Yeah. It's one of these days when he's having one of those snoozes that he always give out about Joe doing. Then, they'll go to shake him or something and he won't be there anymore. And then the world will celebrate. You'll even see the guys in the background going.
Did you see him at Lindsey Graham's funeral the other day? And the guy who was standing behind him was doing everything he could to not completely cover his face because he smells. No, not the speech. The speech that one was great. Where he's back there mocking. But no, it was at Lindsey Graham's funeral, and the guy who's standing behind him is doing everything he can to not cover his face because, from all accounts, Donald Trump consistently smells like shit and piss. Because he's incontinent. He wears fucking diapers.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, and listen, when you get to that age and you have to wear diapers, it's fine. It happens, you know? You lose control of that type of stuff. My dad had colon and rectal cancer, and now he has a hard time controlling that type of stuff, and sometimes he has to wear one. It's just something that happens to all of us.
Yeah, I'm not even
there's
40
no shame in
I have
that.
Troubles with that stuff, you know? Shit my pants at least twice a week.
The problem is when you want to come out and talk about how big of a man you are, talk about how Joe Biden had to wear diapers, and now you have to fucking do it.
Yeah.
And you were probably doing it first. Fucking jackass.
Well, his are gold, though.
Yeah. Those, in some country I just read, I can't remember where it is, has a penalty of up to like 4 years in prison if you lie during a campaign. I can't remember where I read that or for what country it was, but that needs to be instituted immediately.
Every fucking politician lies during their campaign, or they make promises that they won't be able to stand over, not necessarily lying, but he lied the fucking shit out of everything.
Yeah, making promises that you can't keep is, I guess it's one thing. There's nothing you can really do about that unless at the end of your term, if you didn't fulfill all the promises that you made, then something happens to you. But just coming out, he only got elected twice, almost 3 times. I think COVID was the real reason he didn't get elected, the second round. But the only reason he got elected was because of how many lies he was telling and the people that fucking fell for it.
Yeah.
I know like CNN and NBC got a lot of shit for not airing his State of the Union speech live because they wanted to fact check it before they put it out. But you have to with someone like that. You can't just put it out.
Yeah.
So
he's a fucking lunatic.
Okay, we're going off on a diatribe. Now, some writers claim that every yamen or government office displayed a stuffed human skin. Now, this is hard to verify, but we do know that they were in at least some official buildings. Now, over the years, Hung Wu became more suspicious of those that served under him. Twice he purged the government and those he feared were plotting against him. 1380, he executed Hu Weiyong, his chief minister, because he was paranoid of conspiracy against him. He then went after Weiyong's friends, servants, secretaries, relatives, officials that had spoken with him or worked under him, and all those connected through marriage. An estimated, albeit impossible to confirm. How many people, damn, do you think he killed just because of this? He was paranoid of this one guy.
I was going to say, I had in my house, who killed who?
Hung Wu became suspicious
who
that...
killed who?
who killed who?
Killed who? Now he gets it.
How many people do you think killed?
127.4.
You're close. 30,000 people were arrested or executed over the next few years.
Got some big families over in China, man.
Well, it was even people that had even spoke to him or worked around him. They were taken out, and their families were taken out.
It's just him left on his own. The government building's just filled with all these stuffed things, and he's like, "On to the next bit of business."
He's like,
"Bring back Flaying.
I like this better.
Yeah.
It's more fun. Now you all do what I say," and that's how you get a supervillain.
Yeah, and he has faces, makeup drawn on them, and everything. It's
about a decade later, he purges the government again after he accused famed General Lan Yu of treason.
Why would you go for a government job? It's like this thing comes out, all call for a whole new road of civil servants because all the rest of them were flayed and killed.
Yeah.
And, it's like, oh, that sounds like a stable job.
Well, yeah, you're just some guy living in a hut, don't have no idea what's going on. All you know is all of a sudden there are a lot of openings in the government.
Yeah. Hey, new Department of Agriculture, new head of agriculture. Let's go.
Dad, I'm gonna go work for the emperor. Good luck, son. And then he comes back a day later, like, nope. What happened? Just skin dolls as far as the eye could see. You know that one emperor that has all the terracotta soldiers built into the he has nothing but skin dolls, Dad. Just a skin doll army.
Oh, that'd be hilarious to see the secretary sitting at a desk and it's just a skin doll.
And just a little tape recorder saying, "How may I help you?"
Yeah.
And then the sounds of somebody typing on a typewriter or keyboard. Again, more horror movie shit.
That would be so funny having a whole office set up.
just out of skin dolls.
Yeah.
It's like House of Wax.
Yeah.
The entire town is nothing but wax people. Just House of Wax. Now, some, but definitely not all of these accused were convicted, were flayed. I have no idea how many, and it's possible that the vast majority that were flayed had their skin removed after death so it could be displayed for all to see. But despite the looming fear of having your skin peeled from your body, Hung Wu and later Ming emperors still struggled with corruption, which of course you did. I mean,
well, yeah, like if you're struggling with corruption and then you take over to get rid of that corruption and you literally kill everybody,
yeah,
like, you know, you're going to have problems. Like, the only guys whose jobs were secure were the flaying guys. They were literally the only guys who had a secure position. And
they're taking money under the table.
You know, so like,
they're corrupt.
Yeah, so you're going to end up with even more corruption and more bullshit happening.
Yeah,
so.
like I'm here to flay your husband, but if you pay me this much, we'll just, you know, I'll flay your neighbor and say it's him or something.
Yeah.
Like, there's always going to be some type of corruption. Now, probably the best documented and in turn the most famous case of flaying in early modern history. In early modern history we have to head west and jump forward a couple hundred years to the 1570s and the city of Famagusta, the last major holdout in Cyprus against the Ottoman Empire. Now, they had a defending force of anywhere between 7,000 and 8,500 soldiers, holding the ground against 60 to 100,000 Ottoman soldiers in an 11th-month siege. And the man that was tasked to strengthen the city's fortifications was known as Marcantonio Bragadin. Born into a noble Venetian family in 1523, Marcantonio, we'll just call him Tony, spent much of his career as a naval officer and administrator before being appointed Captain General in Cyprus. Eventually, the Ottomans did what everyone knew they would and attacked the Mediterranean island, and it mostly fell. Now, Tony directed his men and Famagusta and a resistance that would become legendary, repelling repeated assaults and repairing walls every night, and all while fighting starvation, disease, and a lack of ammunition. Now, they held out until August of 1571, when Tony finally decided to negotiate terms with Ottoman commander Leyla Mustafa Pasha. According to the agreement, the defending soldiers would be allowed to leave. The civilians could also leave or stay. Officers would retain personal property, and everyone would receive safe passage to Venetian territory. So everything should all be copacetic, right?
Well, if history is taught us anything. Yeah.
Well, we're talking about it on this show.
Yeah.
So we're not exactly sure what happened, but things didn't quite go as planned. It could be that Mustafa believed Tony violated the terms of the agreement by executing Ottoman prisoners or not surrendering supplies and ammunition, or it could be that he was just pissed that he had lost tens of thousands of men to this fairly sparse group of rebels.
Or he woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
That could be too. I mean, those Ottomans are touchy. Now, despite the reason...
Oh, that's what it is. He was sleeping on an Ottoman. And really uncomfortable.
Why couldn't we be the California king empire? God damn, this thing's lumpy as shit. I'd even go for a twin.
Damn idiots.
Despite the reason, Mustafa declared the agreement void and ordered Tony arrested. Now, Tony wasn't just tried and executed. No.
Such a funny name with all those weird names. Hey, Tony! What the fuck you doing?
Well, his name's Marcantonio. But I didn't want to say that over and over again. So I just call him Tony.
No, it's just so funny, though.
Marcantonio. Hey, I don't like shouting your name. I'm just going to call you Tony. All right? You're just Tony. I'll have you know I'm Venetian noble. Yeah, well, right now you're Tony in Famagusta. All right? Tony from Famagusta.
Oh, poor Tony.
So he wasn't just tried and executed. That wouldn't fit this podcast very well. No, Mustafa decided to humiliate him publicly first. Now, for possibly the next 2 weeks, Tony would suffer punishment after punishment. beginning with having his
Mother
ears
jokes.
and hey Tony, your mother's so fat, hey Tony? When you cut her open, her blood's just ragu.
She wears high heels, she strikes oil.
Your mother's so fat that when Legolas shot her, Gimli counted it twice.
Oh, that's a good one.
Beginning with having his ears and, in many accounts, his nose cut off during the surrender ceremony. Then he was imprisoned while his wounds were left to fester. He would be forced to carry heavy baskets or sacks of earth and stone around the city's damaged fortifications, implying symbolically that he was responsible for the rebuilding of the walls he defended. He was tied to a chair and hoisted to the yardarm of an Ottoman flagship in the harbor so sailors could publicly mock him. Then, on either the 15th or the 17th of August, sources disagree, Tony was brought into Famagusta's main square. He was stripped naked and tied upright to a column. Then executioners began to cut. Venetian eyewitnesses say he remained conscious for much of the ordeal, praying and reciting Christian prayers as the flaying progressed. Now, we unfortunately don't know the exact sequence of events as far as how he was flayed, but we do know that it was public, and he obviously died in the process. But his body was then quartered, the pieces were displayed, and his skin was stuffed, dressed in his military uniform, mounted on an ox, and paraded through Famagusta as a trophy, the skin eventually being sent to Constantinople. Then there's a little heist action when, after about 5 years, Venetian secret agents steal the skin from Constantinople and smuggle it back to Venice, where it could be buried with full honors in the Basilica dei Santi Giovanni di Piero. In 1961, Tony's tomb would be open, and inside they did indeed find pieces of preserved skin, so we know at least some of the story is true and not just tall tale. Yeah.
Oh. The more you know.
Yeah. Now, so by now you might see a pattern. Mostly government officials, judges, military personnel, and the like getting flayed for punishment. But there was one other way that flaying could be used in religious ceremony. And for that, we head over the Atlantic to the 14th, 15th, and 16th century Mesoamerica, and to a group that I feel deserves their very own episode sometime in the future, the Aztecs.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, what's that Mel Gibson movie?
Apocalyptica?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, here we go. Yeah. Now, the Aztecs are famously known for being brutal and conducting many forms of human sacrifice for different reasons. But flaying was associated almost exclusively with one specific deity, Xipe Totec, or Our Lord the Flayed One. He was one of the major gods of central Mexico, representing agricultural renewal, springtime, fertility, germination of crops, rebirth, goldsmiths, and warfare.
And
the
lack
symbolism,
of skin.
Pretty much. The symbolism being snakes shed their skin, seeds shed their outer shell, trees lose their bark, maize breaks through its husks. So could humans too shed their skin. Death produces new life. Flayed skin represents renewal. Yada, yada, yada.
They don't mean figuratively, they mean literally. So like they turn into like one of those Attack on Titan motherfuckers.
Yes, they mean literally. According to the belief, Xipe Totec flayed himself to feed humanity. By removing his own skin, he allowed crops to grow, becoming one of the central symbols of spring. So every year around what would be March, the Aztecs celebrate. Yeah, like Jesus is really kind of like phoning it in with the whole eat of my body, drink of my blood.
And giving
it's
a little
just
bit of bread, like, yeah.
wine too. I was like, come on, dude.
It wasn't
Shed
bread, he
some
cut off his
skin,
foreskin,
motherfucker.
is
Give
what
me
it was.
those little toes to nibble on. Come on. You just look down and it's just Peter licking one of his feet or something like that. I'm getting...
Well, at least he didn't be all like giving them onion rings.
Yeah.
You know.
This is my mayonnaise. This is mayonnaise. Eat of my... Okay, I've had enough. That's it. We're done. So every year around what would be March, the Aztecs celebrated one of their largest festivals. Now, bear with me here. Tlacaxipahualasti.
You just made that up.
No, I swear to God.
He's like a scientist, people.
Bear with me here.
And we believe it because it's written down somewhere.
Bear with me here. Walla 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 bing ba ooh. That's that.
The Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious Festival.
We apologize. We're not trying to make fun of your language. It's just hard for us Anglos to Caucasians to not be able to say these.
I can't say that shit.
Say these types of words. And it's not pronounced like it's spelled, obviously. That would make things too easy. That's why Esperanto needs to be a world language. It's perfect. Every syllable, every letter is said the exact same way in every single word. There's nothing silent. Esperanto would be the best.
So it's perfect for people who are dyslexic that read words.
It's perfect for me. Tlacaxipahualasti, or the Flaying of Men. Lasting about 20 days, the Aztec would take, sometimes purchase slaves, but usually captured enemy warriors, because capturing opponents alive demonstrated military skill and honored the gods more than simply killing them in battle. And they would place them in gladiatorial sacrifice. The prisoners would be tied by one ankle to a large stone and given either a club or a mock obsidian blade, and was set to defend himself against a number of fully armed jaguar and eagle warriors. And they always lost, obviously.
Oh, shit.
But they were kept alive. The captive would be led to the temple by priests, where they would be stretched across a sacrificial stone, usually held down by several men, while a high priest cut into the victim's chest with an extraordinarily sharp obsidian knife. And while it was still beating, the heart would be removed and offered to the gods. Then the body would be flayed. And that's where the big difference is from all the other stories. They weren't being flayed for punishment. They needed the skins for ritual use. So after they were already dead, sacrificed, then they flayed. So it's perfectly fine. Oh, you're going to flay me? That's fucked up. No, you'll be dead. Oh, well, go right ahead then. Where do I sign?
Perfectly acceptable.
Yeah.
Means and method right there. Yeah.
Now, after the skin was painstakingly removed to keep it intact as much as possible, priests and sometimes young men chosen for the ceremony then wore the freshly removed skins like a bodysuit.
This is like House of 1,000 Corpses shit going on here.
Something like that. The more of that Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Massacre you're talking about. Mumbai
Chainsaw Massacre, yeah.
And they wouldn't wear them for like a few seconds and say a prayer or anything like that. They put it on and kept it on for the entirety of the festival. At first the skin would hang loose, but as time went on and it dried, it would darken, tighten, and crack, emitting an increasingly powerful odor. Spanish eyewitnesses described the smell as overwhelming. You think
it's literally drying up rotting flesh, but yeah. Yeah.
During the almost 20 days of donning the skin, the wearers would visit homes, accept offerings, bless people, participate in ceremonies, and be represented as the living presence of Sheepy Totek. After the festival, the skins would either be buried, placed in temples, or in sacred buildings. Which, I mean, by the 20th day, you can smell them coming. It's like,
Yeah,
is
they're
it our
offering to get rid of him.
Is it our turn to be blessed? Yeah, a couple blocks away. Should be here any minute.
Get the maze ready. Gotta get his ass out of here as quickly as possible.
Just
last time he sat down on our couch and we took us 3 weeks to get the smell out of the damn thing.
It's that time of year again. Go get out the Sheepy Totek couch.
Yeah.
Take this one out.
The plastic covering's over.
Bring the other one in. Just put your hand out the door and throw the lavender at him as he walks by. We don't need him coming in the house. I just got rid of all the bugs. We don't need him coming in the house. Now, there are very few cases of flaying past the 19th century. There were allegations during the Bosnian War in the 90s of isolated victims being skinned alive by paramilitary groups, although evidence is mixed and mostly uncorroborated. During the conflict in the Congo, there were documented cases by human rights investigators of a small number of survivors and witnesses' accounts of flaying, but they seem to be isolated incidences by small rogue groups. And then there are the Los Zetas and the Jalisco New Generation cartels in Mexico, both committing murders through the past 20 plus years that involved partial or complete flaying intended to intimidate communities and rival gangs. I don't really have a whole lot of information on them. And yet, if you thought we'd get all the way through an episode on flaying and not at least mentioned the deranged one himself, Ed Gein, you would be wrong. Now, I have my own views on old Ed. He's consistently filed in with some of the world's most vile and violent serial killers, when in reality, he wasn't a serial killer.
It's a grave robber or some shit, wasn't he?
Yeah. He killed like 2 people, possibly his brother as well. But...
Well, that's okay, though.
How many have you killed? 2. Are you sure? I may have killed my brother.
Yeah.
All right, we'll let you go just this once. He was like, what's his face? The old Boston butt biter. Fuck, what? Jesse
Pomeroy.
Fuck, Pomeroy, yeah. He wasn't he was the youngest serial killer ever, but he wasn't a serial killer. Killed 2 kids. One more, he'd been considered a serial killer, but he wasn't a serial killer. So, anyway, he doesn't really fit into specific criteria to be a true serial killer. This doesn't, however, mean he wasn't completely fucked in the head. And when they finally searched his Plainfield, Wisconsin farmhouse in 1957, they found chairs upholstered with skin, lampshades made of skin, curtain tiebacks made from lips, wastebasket made from skin. Yeah, exactly. At least 9 masks peeled from female faces, a complete, quote, woman suit, torso skin jacket with breasts, a skin corset, leggings made from leg skin, skulls turned into soup bowls, yes, kitchen utensils made from bones, noses and female genitalia in boxes under his bed, and possibly my favorite, just because of the ingenuity, a belt made of nipples. Now,
wow. Is it like one of those like news go it goes clip in, you know?
Yeah. It's a ratchet type. And are those nipples? Sure are. Got them at the cemetery just the other night. So you might be thinking, if you don't know Ed's story, that should be more than enough to evidence to not only feature him heavily on this episode, but to officially call him a serial killer. But you would be wrong, because all of these skins and bones, with the exception of the remains from his only 2 verified victims, Bernice Worden and Mary Hogan, came from grave robbing. He wasn't killing people and stripping them bare like some of the pop culture villains that are based, albeit loosely, on him, i.e. Leatherface, Buffalo Bill, and Norman Bates. And other than him, as far as I know, there are no verified cases of flaying in true crime stories. No other serial killers known for skinning people.
Takes so much time.
Yeah, it would, and it would be messy as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, you're trying to be clean and get out. I mean, I guess if you're trying to do like a posing thing, like there have been serial killers that like to pose their victims in the most grotesque way to shock people. I guess you could do that, but it's still, that takes a lot of time. And you'd have to do it after they were dead because they'd be screaming like crazy if you did it while they were alive.
Yeah, that's true.
So as we see, for more than 3,000 years, flaying appeared in kingdoms, empires, religions, and criminal organizations across the world. But despite all the differences between the Assyrians, the Ming emperors, the Ottomans, and modern cartels, they all understood one thing. Sometimes the most effective weapon wasn't killing a person, it was making sure everyone else saw what happened after.
Filthy bastards. Oh, well. Well,
Dan,
that's
you got any
pretty
pop
shit.
culture? Yeah. You got any pop culture?
Yeah, just a bit. Hellraiser. Good
There
one.
you go.
Features in Saw. Obviously,
Yeah.
Concept of it in Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Then Predator.
Okay.
Another one that came to mind. Which I thought was pretty good. I've not seen it, but apparently Cabin Fever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But that's not so much flaying as it's a disease
skin being
that
eaten
makes
or
your
something, isn't
skin. Yeah. Your skin kind of gets sloughed off because of the disease, so it's not really flaying. I think the best one you point to is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, obviously.
Yeah. But yeah, and then obviously I noticed that Geen documentaries show you that stuff that he's done after he's taken skin, or the show, even not the documentary.
Yeah.
The Netflix show, which I haven't watched yet, but I will.
Me either. I didn't see the point in it. I know a story. I'm not going to learn anything more.
Yeah, I don't know the whole thing, so. But yeah, it's
And
just
Ryan,
more than enough, really.
Yeah. Is it Ryan Murphy who does those shows? The guy from American Horror Story. He likes to.
Oh yeah, he did he was the Dahmer one.
Yeah, he likes to sensationalize a lot of stuff and change things, and I don't think you need to change anything about those stories. They're creepy and scary enough as the way they are because they were real. But,
yeah.
Oh, well. Well, thank you to our patrons. Willow Quinn Fowler, Sam, what is this? And Molly Mitchell. You can sign up as well as at patreon.com/torturepod. 1 week of our cult leader tier for free. Again, go to torture.podview.com to connect with us on all the socials and to contact us. You can also listen to episodes there. You can message us on there. It'll send to our email, or you can just email us regularly, torturepod@gmail.com. You can donate at buymeacoffee.com/torturepod. Buy our merch at redbubble.com/people/torturepod. All Pride merch profits donated to the Trevor Project. And obviously, go rate and review wherever you can. Thank you to our sponsors. You can support us by supporting them. I haven't gotten any emails about any ads that people are upset about or don't think go along with the podcast, so I haven't been able to exclude anything yet. But if you hear an ad that you don't feel lines up with what this podcast and what Dan and I stand for, let me know, and we will take care of it.
Yeah, like stuff from like the Republican Party and
yeah, stuff like that.
Any MAGA shit.
Hint for our next episode: Italian food will kill you if the fascists have their ways.
Sounds like a good death to me.
No, it will not be. You will not enjoy it.
Being
Dan,
turned into meatballs.
Any words of wisdom?
Yeah. You know the whole thing, light travels faster than sound. So that's why people appear bright before you hear them speak. So,
yeah. What was it? Was it Mark Twain said that people seem smart until they open their mouths or some shit like that? Everybody seems smart to open their mouth.
It was Stephen Wright.
Oh.
Apparently.
All right, well. Told you we'd be back to the gore. Oh, you got another one?
Never
go
pet
ahead.
a burning dog. Never pet a burning dog.
Never pet a burning dog. I think if I came across a burning dog, I'd probably douse him with water.
You'd hope so.
How you think?
Well, you wouldn't want to pet him,
I
though.
think it just depends on what kind of dog it is and how cute it is. If it's just a little cute puppy, I probably will. I'll be like, "Go get that fire off you, yeah, we will. You're a good boy." But I'm a sucker for a dog. Well, I told you we'd get back to the gore and the guts and the blood and all that stuff, and there you go. Next one's gonna be.
What the?
Oh, Dan's gone. The next one's gonna be a little more gross. So. There you go.
God, little squeamish
All right.
ones.
Uh-huh. All right, everybody, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. We'll see you.
Ciao.
Ciao, bella.
Thank you.